As for this letter, the school district says it respects free speech, but that free speech has to be within school culture, and this letter was not. This morning before class, several students wearing red linked arms, they stood at the front of the school and held signs to educate people about rape culture. We even saw some teachers holding signs as well. Rape culture is when society normalizes or trivializes sex assault against women, for example, joking about rape or blaming the victim. This teacher in this controversial letter apologizes for interrupting a freshman class to give his views on rape culture. In the letter, the teacher says, quote, "Rape culture is a theoretical construct that is ill-defined. What exactly is rape culture? I don't see it in my life or the lives of any of the men and women I've known." That's upsetting to some people. Here's a different teacher, followed by a student.
I don't think it's wrong to teach about rape, but this teacher's views are not a balanced perspective on rape that's going to support young women and young men and young people in general, people who are non-binary, etc., making decisions about their sexual health.
I felt attacked, I felt frustrated, I felt vulnerable, and then I kind of moved into more of a disappointment and kind of more action-orientated in how we can move forward from this and how we can prevent it in the future.
Now, it's unclear what's next for this teacher who has two daughters who attend this school. According to our news partner, The Oregonian, the principal will talk with him today. And Brenda, the school is investigating. You can read the letter for yourself on our website, kgw.com. Back to you.
All right, Rachel, thank you very much. We appreciate the update. The man accused of shooting and killing a man in Clark County appeared in court today. Police say Neil Always left 34-year-old Raymond Brandon dead in a shed in Brush Prairie. He faces charges for murder, kidnapping, and robbery. His bail is $2 million, and he'll be in court again on Thursday. Ashley Berry also faces charges for robbery and kidnapping in connection to that murder. There's a bad combination at a popular park in Clark County: horses and dogs. KGW's Tim Gordon is live at Whipple Creek Park in Ridgefield. So, Tim, some horse riders are getting injured in the mix.
Yeah, Brenda, you know, this is a really popular spot for horse riders, for people walking their dogs, and also for hikers and cyclists. The problems come, according to the horse riders, when people don't follow the rules and keep their dogs on a leash. This is Bucky and Tiffany. She's only been riding him a short time, but the 15-year-old's been riding horses since she was 6. These two are both recovering around Whipple Creek Farm right now from what happened last Thursday. No broken bones, but Tiffany injured a knee, and Bucky's been limping around too. From this horse boarding farm, you know, it's a quick ride right into Whipple Creek Park. And on Thursday, they were riding the trails here when an unleashed dog bolted at Bucky and Tiffany. The horse reared up and spun around right into a tree, causing the injuries. Spooked by an off-leash dog who took off with its owner.
I'm more worried about my horse. And the fact that she didn't even ask if I was okay or if he was okay, that irks me a lot.
Again, in case there is any question, the rules are dogs are to be on a leash. So this kind of thing doesn't happen in this 300-acre natural park. And it must be tempting. It is definitely a big park with a lot of trails. But to be clear, Tiffany's was not the only injury. They say there were a couple of other horse riders who were injured just in the past week, including a woman who hurt her back so badly she may never ride a horse again. These horse riders don't dislike dogs. They just want them leashed up. Makes sense. Brenda, back to you.
Absolutely. Those horses, they can be easily spooked. Tim, thanks. Right now, one lane of the Hawthorne Bridge is closed. It's the outside lane heading west into Portland. Crews are repaving it. It's going to reopen this afternoon. Also this week, crews are inspecting the bridge. Today through Thursday, 2 lanes will close during the day. 1 lane will remain open in each direction. Another day of clear skies and sunshine, and it's windy out there on the coast. Look at that. That's Cannon Beach. Rod, it sounds like we're in a bit of a stretch of sunshine, which is nice.
Brenda, did you say another day, meaning we have put a stretch together? Is that what you're saying?
Saturday, Sunday, now Monday.
This is news. Yes, my goodness. Hope you've had a chance to get out and enjoy. You know, if you back up to Saturday, temperatures were just hitting 60, and today we should be giving 70 a run for the money. So sunny weather and warming up. We saw the live camera from Cannon Beach. Here's a great shot. I love this camera from the Channel House because it shows you the beautiful setting of Depot Bay, and clearly folks there along the Central Coast enjoying some sunshine, as well as the North Beach as we just showed you. Here's downtown Portland. Wow, it's a blue sky, 60 degrees, flat even. After a chilly start that had some folks in the 30s. Now, maybe you live up to where Tim was reporting live up in Ridgefield. We've had some passing cloudiness this morning to the north. Most of that has already thinned out, but you can see there's a little weather system. Basically, the meat of that passing us is all the way up into Canada. So if you have some high thin clouds, those will be clearing out, and you go back to a perfectly blue sky as we march through the afternoon. Sticking with our forecast projection of 73, and we'll be down to about 67 at 8 o'clock. We have another day tomorrow. We may have another one after that. More on this run of weather. My goodness. That's coming up, Brenda.
You look startled, but I like it. Thank you, Rod. A man accused of burglarizing a home in Southwest Portland is now in custody. Let's show you his picture. This is 22-year-old Keith Matson. The burglary happened on Arnold Street around 9 o'clock last night. Police responded and say Matson ran away into the woods. He fell into a ravine, and officers used ropes and a basket to help him out. He wasn't seriously hurt, and now he faces multiple charges. Portland fire crews are trying to figure out how a fire started in a barbecue restaurant. You can see how much damage there is. This is at Rio's Ribs on Northeast Sandy. The fire started around 3:30 this morning. Crews put it out and saved the business next door, Rose City Realtors. Rapper Snoop Dogg's uncle owns that restaurant. No word yet about a dollar figure on the damage. Well, the deadline to vote in Portland is just over a week away. It's coming up on May 16th, and there are some big issues on the Multnomah County ballot. They include a $790 million bond for Portland Public Schools. The district wants to renovate and rebuild schools and fix lead, asbestos, and radon issues. Well, today, Representative Earl Blumenauer is visiting two high schools. He's touring Franklin and Madison. Franklin was renovated after the last bond passed in 2012. This video shows the new facility. Madison is on the list if voters approve the new bond. New this noon, 3 people who work for the Obama administration say the former president warned Donald Trump not to hire Michael Flynn. Those officials say the warning happened when the two men met in the Oval Office 2 days after the election. President Trump hired Flynn as his national security advisor. Then he fired Flynn 3 weeks later for misleading Vice President Mike Pence about private conversations with Russia. Well, just moments ago, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said it's true that former President Obama made it clear he was no fan of Flynn's, but he says the Obama administration should have done even more.
Under the Obama administration, if they reissued one of the highest security clearances that you can get, knowing what they knew then, and then didn't do anything to take a proactive steps to suspend it in any way, shape, or form, the question you have to ask yourself is, if they were concerned, why didn't they take any steps?
Fair to say that the counterintelligence investigation was not.
Well, Congress is hearing even more about Flynn today. Former Acting Attorney General Sally Yates is testifying before lawmakers. This is a live look at the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee hearing. Yates is talking about how and when she warned the White House about Flynn's ties to Russia.
She is very widely respected. And she apparently has some information as to who knew what when.
Yesterday, President Trump once again dismissed the investigation. He tweeted, "When will the fake media ask about the Democrats' dealings with Russia?" And then earlier this morning, he tweeted, "General Flynn was given the highest security clearance by the Obama administration, but the fake news seldom likes talking about that." The newest version of the president's travel ban is in front of a federal appeals court today. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals is hearing arguments. This is the order President Trump signed back in March. Several refugee rights organizations say the order discriminates against Muslims. The case could ultimately end up in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. Officials say North Korea is detaining another U.S. citizen. 55-year-old Kim Hak-san was arrested for allegedly committing hostile acts against the country, but it's not clear exactly what those acts are or what it even means. He was teaching at Pyongyang University of Science and Technology. He's the fourth American currently in North Korean custody. In France, voters overwhelmingly elected former banker Emmanuel Macron as president. Today, he appeared alongside current President Francois Hollande at a ceremony commemorating the end of World War II. Macron claimed more than 65% of the vote. His opponent, Marine Le Pen, had promised to close France's borders and leave the EU, but she conceded defeat, and President Trump congratulated Macron in a tweet.